What's going on, everyone? Nick Daniels here, coming at you live, man, yet again, and we're gonna make a couple videos while we're out. Just a little bit of mist happening right now, and I figured we'd shoot the shit, man. So before I get into the dating playbook for men, that's what the video's about today. Chapter 2, I want to fucking say. We're gonna talk about something real quick. So I made a video a little while ago, and I spoke about selling my GoPro setup that I used to use before this. So before I bought the DJI Pocket, I officially sold it last night. So it's officially gone. A lot of memories with that setup. I've had that setup kind of in and out. I was adding pieces onto it. I was going, but I mean, it was good to kind of see it off. So anyway, I got a couple extra GoPros I'm trying to sell, like a Hero 5 and a Hero 3. But yeah, man, it was like, geez, that's kind of weird. Like I had like the El Grande, like it was like $100 pole. That's what it was. The selfie stick I use right now, just to give this a little distance, just so I'm not holding it like right here, was like $8. So like immediate, easy replacement. And the GoPro, it had its perks, but I just find this setup is just a lot more convenient as well. Like I could literally just put it in my breast pocket in this jacket, and everything fits, which includes the camera, the microphone, and the pole. So anyway, not bad. Sold it off for just under $500. So that had like the microphone and all the accessories on it. So almost a little sad to see it go, but I don't know, just rubbed one out. It was all good. So anyway, man, we're going to talk about the dating playbook. Let's get the fuck into it. So yeah, anyway, dating playbook for men, man, chapter 2. We're really we're not going to be sitting down anymore for these because I kind of skimmed ahead. The chapters are getting a little bit less. They're kind of getting repetitive. Like the first chapter too was like, the intro and the first chapter were really, really good because that's why I did them when I was like sitting down with it, like, you know, and I think I had the green screen on them at the time because it was good to show, so there's just people there. It was good to show, the difference of that, like, or it's not the difference, sorry, but like like initially, right? It was almost like more of a reaction. Right, you kind of get an idea what the book's about. The chapter 2 really repeats a lot of things, but we're going to talk about the couple points that I actually took away from it and I thought were interesting. But I mean, it's just common sense. It's one thing about the book that you got to know is the book basically makes it that you do have to act on the things in the book. You can't just kind of read the book and just assume it'll all just work out. There are lessons you take away from the book, but I mean, notably, you kind of have to, it's one of those things you do kind of have to put some effort in, and you physically need to go out and try something, or you're not going to get anything out of it. So chapter 2, I forget the exact title of it. I'll probably put it in the video. But yeah, so this is part of my mini-series where we're going to be reading the entire book. We're going to be going through it chapter by chapter. I believe there's like 7 chapters, and we're just going to talk about general thoughts about each one. And this one had the main comment that kind of stood out was this was more about taking action. So for example, I get cold feet quite often. Kind of right now, actually, I'm kind of cold. But cold feet because, you know, there'll be like a group of cute girls. You know, they all go to the washroom because that's fucked up, but that's just what women do. If guys do it, by the way, it's retarded. But if women go to the bathroom together, it's just okay and accepted. Don't know why that is. But, so the girls, like one girl's by herself at the bar who's kind of cute. And like, I won't approach. Yeah, like I'll just kind of get a little scared. And, you know, and I shouldn't be doing that, right? But that's one thing it says to not do. It's like, don't get cold feet. Like, take those chances, you know? But one of the biggest things, like I was saying, like, is if you can just read that and be like, well, that's great. But maybe, you need to know, like, from what I was reading, it didn't really explain a way to do so. It didn't, like, you know, for somebody like me who might not want to do that, might not feel comfortable doing that. So my advice that I don't, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's in the book and I just skimmed over it, because I skimmed this chapter. I really didn't kind of read it. I started reading it and then I just realized it was just like, it was rinse and repeat, right? It was like, you know, you don't have to prove your worth. You should already be happy. And it's like, yeah, that was the first chapter. Like, let's move on to a new topic. Like, don't, yeah, so it's starting to get kind of annoying. But My way of saying that would be, you always try something like indirect. I find that's a really good approach. Or you talk about something that's kind of happening in the present at the time, you know, that might influence the room. So if like you were in a pub and, you know, a singer was supposed to start that evening, you could go up and ask her, hey, there's a guy setting up a guitar there. Do you know what like band that is? Do you happen to know what's going on? Right? You kind of ask that and you get your foot in the door that way. You have a very good invitation to start a conversation, right? Especially when you ask a question that's not just like, that's kind of a little bit more open-ended. If you just kind of say like, you know, something that's going to warrant, I mean, maybe my question there wasn't the best one, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just an example. But yeah, like trying to get a response out of somebody that might lead to more than one word. Yeah, it's a good way. Good way of going it. But that was one of the main things that I was reading, was like I said, it was trying to say like basically don't have cold feet. You know, putting your intentions out there as well, like kind of knowing what you're looking for. I think that's just common sense. Like especially on dating apps, I find that's, Jesus, we gotta get onto that. I find dating apps is one of the biggest ones where you kind of want to put your intentions out there right away. Because what I find with a lot of those is, well, like people come on there for all sorts of reasons. You know, there are people who are looking for flings. There are people who are looking for serious relationships. You know, there's probably people who are looking for endgame, right? They're looking for a marriage. You know, you don't know. There's all ages, all religions, like there's everything. And I find the more clear you can be in what you're looking for, will kind of narrow that down. I mean, it'd be no different than going on Kijiji and putting like not a price on an item and just saying, please contact me. That's kind of what you're doing in online dating when you don't say something like that. So just anybody could reply to a message or hit you up, and, you know, you never know. But when you're very specific, you're going to discourage a lot of people. But then the people you do hear from generally are going to be the people that are on the same wavelength. They're looking for the same thing. And that's kind of, just like I said, it's common sense. You know, it's absolutely common sense to me. You know, yeah, it's just stuff like, again, like, there's really not much to say other than that in the chapter 2. It's like just knowing like your worth, you know, making yourself happy, you know, approaching women, like it's like not being afraid of that, like making a move, and don't like regret the actions. Like don't say like, oh, I'm just going to get rejected. Just go up and talk to her, you know, and do that, you know. And that's something I absolutely struggle with. So it's interesting that, you know, that obviously were to come up and finally be there. And then the rest of it was just like bullshit from the last chapters. You know, make yourself happy, know what you're looking for, be the grounded man. Like, yeah, Jesus. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just rinse and fucking repeat. You know, and it's like, I like reading the book. I don't mind reading the book, but I wouldn't mind something different, you know. So yeah, this one I guess this video is a little bit less about the book. But anyway, we'll do chapter 3 probably this weekend here, and we'll continue along. This is the first chapter I even looked at in like 2 weeks. I just haven't really got around to it. It's one of those things that you just put on the list and then you just never fucking do it. Because it is really not that important, in my opinion. I do have a video I'm going to make here very shortly, probably right after this actually, about redoing dating apps in 2021. I restarted a couple, and I'll talk about maybe a couple of the things I took away from chapter 1 in my way of thinking, and I'm going to see if I'm implementing those into my dating app strategy. And maybe this will be a new mini-series as well to kind of see how that's going. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, guys. It's been the Dating Playbook, chapter number 2. We'll hopefully go more extensively into the next chapters if there's anything actually new to talk about. But if they're just, again, going to rinse and repeat things, then yeah, there's not much to say. All right. Take it easy. I don't even know why we went over there. Yo, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you want to check out my Instagram here, I do a little bit of photography on the side. Be sure to check it out, nickdaniels65, Instagram.com. You can feel free to message me on there if you got any video ideas. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Take it easy. Cheers.